Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to another Star Wars Unlimited video. I want to apologize. I'm probably doing this out of order. So I'm recording a lot of these videos today. So here's a little bit of backstory. I've been pretty sick for the last few weeks. Not weeks, a few days. And so it's been a while since I've been able to upload anything. But anyway, here's me catching up. Thanks for sticking around. And so today, I have got one of, as you all know, if you've been following the channel, one of my favourite characters from Star Wars, one of my favourite leaders, is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and this is going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi Green. And I think, so I was inspired by the Luke Green deck lists that have been floating around since the game came out, and I was also inspired by seeing Django Red becoming very, very meta prominent. Obviously, I knew it was a strong deck. I played a lot of Boba Red during the end of set 2, and it was basically like the same thing, but arguably better due to the ability to race. That, and then also in some testing against Cad Bane decks, in particular Cad Bane Red, that I was doing against a friend. Shout out to Ollie. And I basically sort of was like, well, hold on a minute. Firstly, Obi-Wan's leader ability hard counters any of those ping, Tarkin Town kind of things. Okay, yes, I can't counter the tapping. And to some degree Quinlan as well, but less so. So firstly, I hard counter all that, which I think is quite relevant. And secondly, these green-blue decks actually have like a lot going for them. And we'll sort of get through that as we go through the list, basically. But I was really interested in seeing what I could do with this list, and it's really fun. It's really good. And I'm not saying this is necessarily the sort of be-all, end-all list, but not many people are really exploring Obi-Wan at the moment. So I wanted to put something out there. Also, I'm not on ECL. Maybe it is worth being on ECL. I think you've got a lot of really strong targets. We'll go through some of them in this list, actually, that made me consider it. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. So also, apologies, but basically I've built a load of decks, and there are a couple of proxies in here, embarrassingly, which I could have got out from the other lists, but you guys know what the cards are. So, okay, firstly, we'll start off, we're going with top end. 2 redemptions, mandatory to just let you stabilize, in particular against like Django Spaces is a crazy card. You heal like 5, and then you're out of range of getting just blown out by a Ruthless Raider, like sniping it, and then you just got this 6 attack Sentinel just sitting there, which you can heal up every single turn it hangs around for what that's worth, which is pretty limited value. But yeah, I mean, redemption, we all know the card's crazy. 3 copies of Luke. Do you like my proxies? I think they're super good, right? Thumbs up and like the video and subscribe to the channel if you like my proxies. Okay, General Recon. This is one of the cards that I was very excited to play this color combo for. So he's a 5/7 Rebel official. When played on attack, choose a friendly unit. If it has Sentinel, give it an experience. Otherwise, it gains Sentinel. I think this is really, really valuable. Now, obviously, this is the kind of card with ECL becomes like absolutely crazy, since you just get it twice, so you give something Sentinel and +1/+1 for the turn. Obviously the experience is forever. And you could make this ECL. I'm trying it, sort of being aware of all the aggro that's running around. But the fact this is a 5/7 Sentinel, or it's a 5/7 where you can throw Sentinel into space if you need it, or anywhere else on the ground where you need it, I think this deck has like a stupid amount of Sentinels. So, I just think it just gives you that survivability. It lets you protect units that you really want to protect, or it lets you, forces your opponent to deal with really, really big stuff if they don't necessarily really want to deal with it. I think it's just really, really strong. Of course, then we got 2 copies of Obi-Wan Kenobi. This card is very good. We know this is very good. Annoyingly, one of the only decks, I think, basically the only deck that you can't just buff your leader with because they're just going to attack your leader first. But it is what it is. Yeah, this card is very, very strong. We know it's very, very strong. 2 copies of Rey. So I think I was between this and Kiadi, and the reason I've gone with Rey is twofold. One, I like being out of fell range. And 2, I think the healing and potentially giving shields, but I think the healing is really, really good. I really like the fact that you're able to heal with Rey. But I also really like the fact that because this plays the cheaper units this deck plays, actually quite a lot of them are non-hero, so it's actually quite easy to also gain the experience. This could very well be a Kiadi, but I think it's force-rated, which is relatively relevant. But yeah, I think it's just a good card. Obviously, less good with Jedi lightsaber, and not Jedi traded, so you can't lightsaber her up. But that rarely came up in my experience. Okay, 3 copies of Obi-Wan's Aether Sprites. I think this is just a staple. This is one of the reasons why Blue Hero is able to deal with Django. It's just such an insane card. It is able to answer their entire top end. It is able to snipe out their cheaper stuff. If you actually look at like what the cards that deck is playing, like almost all of them like have 2 HP in space, or like so it's just ridiculous like how much this card does. Obviously, you're able to counteract the downside by healing up every single turn with Obi, so you're able to get a huge amount of value. Yeah, this card's absolutely crazy, in particular in this deck. We're not stopping there though. Obviously, as you can see, this deck is very well equipped to like handle these Django space decks. 2 Bright Hope, yeah, this card's crazy. Giving you card advantage, letting you reuse potentially really useful on plays, something like a Hu Yang, for example. Yeah, just a very, very good card. And also 2 copies of Kanan, because it's a good card. Kanan's a very good card. Who could have seen this coming? Onto the 3 drops. So yeah, as mentioned, 3 copies of Hu Yang. I mean, this card is just really strong. It's essentially a 4/6 for 3, which is ridiculous, right? Obviously, it has to be something else, and they can deal with this. But like the fact that because this deck plays so much Sentinel, you can actually keep this guy around for like quite a while. If your opponent isn't able to like basically just answer it immediately with removal, and so I think that's really, really good. Also, it has slightly more longevity because like if your opponent needs to attack into it twice, you can heal it upwards with Obi. Again, that doesn't come up a super large amount. A lot of the time they are just one tapping it, but you know, like these things do matter, and especially when we see the sort of lower cards we can buff with it. Obviously later on in the game, like the ability to buff like your Obi leader suddenly to make it like a 4/9 Sentinel is kind of crazy. But anyway, some of the other units we're playing are 3 copies of Captain Typho. I think this is one of my favorite things to buff if it does line up that way, because you make it like a 4/6, which can throw Sentinel around the board. Obviously, give it to itself. So you just have this huge Sentinel, and you just make it really annoying for your opponent to interact with it. But I think Typho is just in general like an insanely strong card. Yeah, like the 2/4 Sentinel. It's basically always going to have Sentinel, like outside of the one action where he hasn't attacked yet. They're basically going to have to just answer the card because it is very, very strong. And then obviously, yeah, like 2 copies of Concord Dawn could make it 3, but I think we have enough space presence that we don't have to play the full package. Like, yeah, just a very, very good card. Also on the ground, we got a couple of Echo-based defenders just for even more Sentinel, as if there wasn't enough. Though the thought of making this a 6/5 with Hu Yang is obviously very, very funny. But yeah, just loads and loads of Sentinel. Okay, and then we get our 2 drops. So we got the 3 Coruscant Guard. This is just a 3/2. The Ambush comes up occasionally. Now, Royal Guard Attaché is one I really, really like Hu Yanging, because so firstly, it's a 2/4. Which because you heal it immediately with Obi-Wan. So like, yes, you'll lose initiative if you do that, but you just immediately do it, and that's obviously really, really nice. It is a Tarkin Town magnet, but obviously if they Tarkin Town it, like that's their Tarkin Town god, and I'm kind of okay with that. But yeah, you can heal it up really, really easily, and then obviously you can make it like a 4/9, which is kind of ridiculous. Sorry, 4/7, which like is insane. And then like if you're able to set up like a Sentinel to protect it, like it's just really, really good. But obviously then, like, yeah, we get 3 Battleful Marine. We can make this a 5/5. We got 3 Restored Arc. We can make this a 4/5. But yeah, like, I mean, these are all just really, really solid early play units. So yeah, I think basically, like, the curve is just strong. It's scary. I think a lot of the support cards are what make this deck so strong. So we've got a bunch of events, but I guess let's quickly do the lightsabers because we play 4. So I'm playing 2 General's Blade and 2 Jedi Lightsabers. So the General's Blade goes on to a lot of stuff. Mainly your leader and Hu Yang, actually. Or obviously you get Kenobi. That's a reason you might want to play Kiadi. But I think largely speaking, like the General's Blade is going on to Obi. Because you make Obi a 7/10 that is just going to be reducing costs. Obviously the ability to like have this curve where I believe, if I could do maths right, no, I can't do maths right. But, you know, you can play like a 5-drop as well, like the turn you play this. So you can go like, okay, flip Obi, attach General's Blade, swing Fat, reduce cost, drop an 8th Sprite. Like, these are things you can do, or drop Array. Like, these are things you can do. These are powerful turns. And then obviously Jedi Lightsaber is just insane. And this is Force related rather than Jedi related, and there's a lot of those. And yeah, like you just sit there and you just go minus, 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 and have like this removal central situation, which I think is really, really powerful. And then we have the sort of removal events package. One of these, I feel like I have to mention, this is the one deck you can play it in. I'm trying it out, which is I have the high ground. You get this where your opponent doesn't have hard removal, which is against a lot of decks, and you deploy OB. It survives one hit, and then you go, or your opponent like tries to like set something up, and you go, cool, I have the high ground. And basically OB lives that turn, which is really, really relevant. But then you can have like nice turns where you go like, okay, I have the high ground, general plays, swing, and then like slam down a cannon or like slam down a I forgot what it's called. This guy. Like it can be really, really nice, right? So yeah, you get some powerful turns like that. And then like as a remainder of the removal package, I'm on 1 takedown, 2 fail, and 2 rivals fall. I'm on 2 rivals fall in main because I'm really respecting Anakin existing. And I think it's important to main deck an out to Anakin because I'm seeing that deck probably increase in playability quite a lot. Also, this card does deal with Ruthless Raider. It's a pretty shit way to deal with Ruthless Raider, but it does deal with it. Whereas both things don't. So just respecting that. And obviously, like, both these deal with Fire Spray. So yeah. And then, sorry, I'm quite sick. And then just for the side, these are other cards I'm basically like interested in. So, yeah, 3 top target. Card's good. 2 Perilous Position. Card is insane. Attack. 2 Marauder, which I think this card is, and like I think this color combo has insane space 5 drops. Like actually, if you look through them, it's got 3 really, really crazy ones. I'm playing this because it's ambush in space. Like, so if you're going into one of those like Django, okay, I'll take out the rays, I'll put in the Marauders, and then like my 5 drop is just like I am interacting with this space. We don't care about the resource thing. Like yes, okay, occasionally it comes up, very, very rarely. Yeah, super good. And then for the matchups where you can afford to do it, a couple home ones. This is more like aggro leaned at the moment. But there we go. That is the deck. I think it's pretty decent. I would recommend giving it a go. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Would appreciate it. And yeah, let me know what you think of this deck. Are there any changes you would make? Are there any cards you think I should be playing? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. But otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Subscribe to the channel. Cheers. Bye.